Have I?
Correct.
Nothing online?
Nope.
Okay, very good. Well, we declare this public hearing over. The record will stay open until what time on Friday?
Right, 4 p.m. on Friday.
4 p.m. this Friday. Okay, very good. Thank you, guys. Jerry, thanks for your comments on that, too. And Commissioners, thank you for your due diligence on paying attention to this ordinance, which is being foisted upon us by our friends in Annapolis. All right, Montgomery County Police, speaking of foisting on us, Montgomery County Police is here to give us some background on golf carts and e-bikes. And I don't want to call you officer because I know you're more than that. What is it?
Sergeant.
Sergeant, thank you. Thank you, Sergeant. Sergeant, please introduce yourself to the crowd.
Sergeant Paul Bandholtz, Montgomery County Police, 1st District. Niles has been very helpful here. He's going to throw up our PowerPoint presentation, and I'll just read along with you guys. And we put a little something together just to kind of educate. And I know there's been a lot of questions lately out there around what is legal, what ages, what are the criteria, and where these vehicles can operate through the town. So we put a little something together, and you guys feel free to post this on your town page or do whatever, so the residents can take a look at it as well and just refresh their memory or check up to see. There's a little section here too for parents as far as if they're thinking about buying one of these vehicles for their kids, what to look for and things to consider before they make a purchase. There are three main categories, or basically there are three categories when we're looking at the e-bikes and the scooters and how they're divided up. If you go back to that first page, and there you go. And so they're broken up into a couple different categories. The e-bikes and golf carts, you can put that as the fourth. You just keep that in your mind as the fourth category. But there are different classes for the e-bikes, and we'll go into what designates an e-bike. The electric scooters, and then moped scooter, motor scooter, or moped. Go to, let's look at the third slide there, Niles. We can just move ahead to the third one. Now, we'll go into the classes a little bit, what designates the classes. But your e-bike classes, class 1 and 2 are the lower level e-bikes. They're with the pedals and the electric assist on it. You don't need any license for them. You don't need to register them for class 1 and 2, and there's no real minimum age. When you get into class 3 of the e-bikes, we'll give you that designation here in the next page, but you do need to be at least 16 years old to operate one of those legally. The electric stand-up scooters, you have to be at least 14 years old. The motor scooters or mopeds and the motorcycles classified as vehicles, you need to be 16 as well. Now, this will kind of help you guys out. If you go to the next slide, Niles, this I think is the meat and potatoes and what designates which category your bike falls into, or try and go back one. I think you went too far.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the class one e-bikes, it's pedal assist. So you're at your lower level bike. It's the pedal assist, and it has your little electric motor on it that helps you go like up hills. It gives you a boost up hills, or if you get tired, it helps you out a little bit. They don't go more than 20 miles an hour. Class 2 is similar, but it has a throttle, so you can get on and you can just throttle it like an ATV or anything like that. And it also has the pedal assist also, but you can throttle it and you can move it without pedaling at all. So that's the difference between the class 1 and the class 2. Is class 2, you don't have to pedal at all. You can move it strictly with the throttle. Class 3 is where you get into genuine vehicles. The max is 28 miles per hour on those. It's pedal assist only, but the motor helps you up to 28 miles an hour. and sometimes we do see a few of those zipping around the streets. There's also, people have the ability to, and when we look at cars, you can tune a car to go a little faster, changing, different criteria in the car. You can also tune these bikes as well. So you can tune a Class 2 bike to go up past 28 miles an hour, which then turns it into a Class 3 e-bike. So keep that in mind. Jump ahead to the next one there, Niles. Other way.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that one. Very important. A lot of people know that that you have to ride with helmets. You have to use helmets. If you're on a moped or a motor scooter, you also need eye protection. That's huge. That's very big. A lot of people skip that. With the bugs in the summer and any other projectiles or anything riding around, something gets in people's eyes. That's an easy way to create a dangerous incident. Let's go to the next one. Okay. This is mainly for registration. I know we've gotten some complaints before in town about kids zipping around on scooters and e-bikes. And a lot of questions surrounding, do they need to be titled, registered, or insured? This kind of breaks it down here. This slide breaks it down. Your gas-powered scooters and mopeds, they're measured by cc's, the cc of the engine, the motor. 50 cc or under, you need a title and registration decal. You need a driver's license or moped permit. You need insurance, and you need a DOT helmet required at all times when riding those. That's that, if we go back, that Class 3 vehicle. If you get over 51 cc's, now you're into a regular motorcycle. Now you're subject to the rules of the road, and looks like a scooter. Or if you, like I said, if you tune your vehicle up to more than 50 cc's, 51 cc's, it requires a full Class M motorcycle license. So you're officially a motorcycle at that point, subject to the registration, insurance, and all that. Now with the electric bikes are governed by watts, not cc's, because of the electric motor. 750 watts or under, your legal e-bike, no registration required, no license required, no insurance required, and it's treated just like a bicycle under Maryland law. Now bicycles can ride on the road, but they're subject to the rules of the road just like vehicles. So stop signs, red lights, all that. Riding a bicycle, you have to obey those same rules of the road. Over 750 watts, you're no longer considered an e-bike. It's classified as a motor vehicle by Maryland state law. You need registration, license, and insurance. Yes, and same for modifying over 750 watts.
Sergeant, question for you,
Yes.
just because we're on this page.
Sure.
Sidewalks. Tell us about each one of these classifications via sidewalk.
Yeah, we will. That's coming up.
Got it. Thank you. I'm just so excited.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to say in the very beginning. I'm not I've never been a traffic guy, a huge traffic guy. Our traffic guys are really busy these days, and you're stuck with me. So I'm going to do the best I can here.
You're kicking it, man.
You're stuck. Okay, let's go ahead. Next one, Niles. Let's see.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, very important. Again, we'll go over the helmet rules again. Yeah, I think the very last thing on the bottom of this slide is real important here. I know, it's common sense. We all know that helmets can reduce the risk of head injury, but the studies that have done, reduce it up to 85%. That's big. That speaks for itself there. Under 16, any e-bike or e-scooter, a helmet is required by Maryland law. Under 18 in Montgomery County, There are often overlapping laws between the state of Maryland and Montgomery County. So under 18 in Montgomery County, helmets are required for all scooters and motor scooter and moped riders. You need a DOT-approved helmet and eye protection, all ages, always. Okay, let's see if we can get to the next one. Yep, okay, here's our sidewalk requirements here. So the age requirements, again, for a Class 3 e-bike, you have to be 16 years old or older to operate. That's the Class 3 bike. Electric scooter in Montgomery County, 14 or older. Motor scooter or moped, 16 or older. Class 1 and 2 e-bikes, there are no state age minimum. If you remember that first slide, that Class 1 and 2, your basic e-bikes with the pedal assist. Where you can ride. Roads, yes, you can always ride on the roads, but you have to follow all traffic laws. I think worth mentioning as well is we get complaints a lot of times about the adult riders as well. The adult riders will be in their groups or single riders, and you'll see them blowing through the four-way stop in town. It's very important. A lot of these kids too, they learn by example. So it's important for the adult riders out there to keep that in mind as well. These kids are watching, and these adult riders need to follow the traffic laws as well. Bike lanes, yes, for all classes. Sidewalks are allowed unless they're locally banned, but one must yield to pedestrians. So if anyone's on a scooter, an e-bike, anything like that, and you're on the sidewalk, you have to yield to pedestrians. The pedestrians have the right of way.
What does that mean in practicality? Could you describe what that means? People, does it mean just go to the other side of the sidewalk while you zip by? Does it mean stopping until the people walk by?
It just means proceed in a safe manner, is what it means. So you can't run them off the road. You can't run into them. You can't. You have to
Okay,
yield.
so as long as the people can walk by you while you're riding.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Just proceed in a safe manner. Class 3 bikes. That's the bike that's over 28 miles an hour. Not on bike paths unless it's next to a road. And motor scooters are on roads only, but not on highways. It has to be less than 50. Less than 50 mile an hour speed limit.
So no class 3 bikes on C&O Canal or on our walking paths.
No on the bike path. The C&O Canal, I'm not sure about the jurisdiction of the C&O Canal.
They've generally allowed the electric bikes on the C&O Canal because when I biked it, there were electric bikes on it as well. There are posted signs to that effect. There are certain places you can't for their own safety, though, where it's not safe to do an electric bike on it. But generally speaking, yes.
Now, when you say you've seen them or they allow them on this,
They were allowed. There are signs that say that they're allowed at certain stretches.
Okay.
There's stretches of the C&O Canal that are so narrow
yeah,
that you can't, that going on those, you'd be going too fast. And so they mark out where you can't go.
got it. All right, let's hit the next one. You can bypass. Okay. Yeah, so this is a little overview of just, safety rules. Like I said before, stop at all stop signs and red lights. Same as vehicles, same as cars when you're on the road. Never ride against traffic. Always ride on the right side of the road in the same direction that traffic's going. In the nighttime, if you are riding at night or low visibility, use a white light in the front and a red light in the rear.
Is that something that comes standard on e-bikes?
Some of them
Lights, or
do,
is that
some
something that
of them
people have to
don't. Yeah.
add?
Yeah, some of them do, some of them don't. There's another slide in here we'll get to as well about a different kind of bike too that we'll get to that as well. But these are the responsibility of of the purchaser, whoever buys these bikes or rides these bikes, if it's a parent and a child, you want to make sure you have this installed and ready for your child for safety. Kids do wear headphones when riding around on scooters and bikes. That is not allowed. No headphones or using a cell phone while riding. One rider per vehicle, no passengers unless the bike is designed for it. I don't know if anyone else has, but I have yet to see an e-bike designed for two people on it.
Not yet. Might have seen a couple riding together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
Not
not
the
saying.
same.
Yes.
Never modify your e-bike beyond its class limits. No riding on expressways or roads posted above 50 miles an hour. And that's just a general thing for don't charge lithium batteries unattended. They can be a fire hazard. Just a general safety rule. Next one. Okay, this slide, and we have another slide coming up that breaks down which offenses carry which penalties. If you are riding one of these vehicles that you're required a license for, the first offense, this is no joke. It's up to 60 days in jail or a $500 fine. Second offense is up to 1 year in jail and or a $500 fine. No registration or decal. Fines apply for driving an unregistered vehicle. It's treated as a misdemeanor. No helmet. Usually warning and educational materials. Local law enforcement will try and teach and use this as more of a teaching situation than, we're not out here to write 12-year-old tickets for no helmets on a bicycle or anything like that. We're here, to teach the younger kids how to ride safely. Modifying your e-bike, like I said a few times before, you need to be aware of the limits of your bike, and if you're jumping into a different classification, you need to be aware of that and adjust your equipment accordingly. Whether it's if you need a license or a registration or what, if you bump up in classes. I think we went over most of these. Yeah, we went over all of these. And know the classes. Yeah, we went over these. Yeah, we went over these. Okay, that's another tool for parents, just a quick lookup guide for parents. Go to the next one. Yeah, it's the same thing, I think. You can go to the next one. I think we're going back and forth here. Okay, yeah. So this is the other thing that we see quite common, not only in Poolesville but all around the county, is the mini electric dirt bikes. I know a lot of people have seen those. If you can go to the next slide, Niles. They're not designed for anything other than just for private property. They don't have headlights. They don't come with headlights, taillights, turn signals, mirrors, any of these things. They belong on private property or on designated off-road trails, and they're generally not e-bikes. They're defined separately and regulated differently. Yeah, so we do see, I've seen a few of those in town, and they're like I said, they don't come equipped with any of the equipment they need, the safety equipment they need. So they have a purpose, and that's for private property and the dirt and off-road trails and stuff like that, not around town. I think I heard, was there an interest in the town to have a golf cart ordinance or something?
Yes, so we'll talk about that a little bit later, but the town has golf carts that we use.
Yeah.
So what the proposed ordinance does is allow the town to use them.
Okay.
But it would stay, like the current rules as I understand them, are that they're not allowed on the road. generally. But, so what our ordinance only does is change it specifically for us.
Okay, so there is a classification, the MVA, Maryland Vehicle Administration, does designate or classify what's called an LSV, a low-speed vehicle. So if you have a golf cart, you can get it registered. If it's a certain type of golf cart, you can get it registered through MVA as a low-speed vehicle. They'll issue a tag for it, a license plate for it. It has to be insured, and it has to be registered. It has to have, I believe it has to have a VIN, but it has to have certain criteria, seatbelt, safety equipment, stuff like that. So I know there have been complaints in town about golf carts driving, and I know of at least 2 of them that the owners went out and got them classified as low-speed vehicles, legally tagged, legally insured, so they're good to go. So just because if anyone sees them driving around, doesn't automatically mean they're not legal. It's, if they are tagged and registered, they're perfectly legal on the streets.
We'll count on our flock cameras to tell us who's out there.
All right.
That it? Sergeant, that was great. You guys have questions?
That was really
Hang on.
helpful. Thank
Questions? So just to be sure, I know that traffic's not your thing, Paul, but the, essentially, it looks to me like under 14 scooters, they're just not, that's not allowed, period.
Correct, yes. Under 14, you need to be on either a regular bicycle or a Class 1 or Class 2 e-bike.
Or a regular scooter, right? Like a non-motorized scooter.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably one of our biggest questions we have. Tom, go ahead.
Clarifying, I'm assuming for purposes of this, that another town has sidewalks and they have trails that are 6 feet wide. You're gonna throw them all into the category of sidewalk. I don't know if you need to clarify that, but, you know.
I think that's how we've been treating it, but you're right, that's a good question. Our sidewalks and trails are
Our rules of
designated separately. Go
Right.
ahead.
Our rules of use for the trail says no motorized vehicles on our trails. So that's signs, there are signs that say that. So that's posted for the trails. So that's sort of separate in and of itself. So the rules of the road, so to speak, for the trails are separate.
So certain motorized vehicles could go on the regular sidewalks.
Yes,
Got it.
But not on the trail.
But not-
right.
All right, can I speak for like 2 minutes? I actually
yours.
done some due diligence on the other side of the injury aspect, speaking with some of my MCFRS people. So pretty staggering numbers. Let's start with the scooters. As of between last year and this year, just in Montgomery County, there has been a 500% increase in injury rates amongst scooter users. No fatalities yet, which is fine. It's great, actually, but serious injuries are up 128%. Minor injuries, 29%. Then you get into, this is kind of a little bit of a different area. The cyclists and the e-bikes are actually under the same category. They don't break those out. But again, the one classification they have here, again, serious injury, this time from January to June of last year to January to June of this year, it's gone up 600% of injuries. Again, big numbers. And then when you get into the injury trends, and I'm going to speak on behalf mostly of the youth riders, because that's what we have that are really prominent around here. Let's see here. We talked about the helmets. Head or traumatic brain injuries is about 40% of the injuries that are on the e-bikes. Upper extremity fractures it's about 32%. Fractured arm, fractured clavicle, they fall, they hit, they injure their body. Lower extremities, I also know somebody that actually has a friend that was 11-year-old in a different town that had an injury and had to get his foot amputated recently from an injury, from an accident. Goes all the way to facial lacerations. Again, talking about no helmets. Let's see, I know I had one in here. Paul mentioned it. Again, 74% of the TBIs are without helmets, not using the helmets. Eye protection is another one. Only 22% of the youth wear helmets. No bueno. But, I mean, I'll send out some of this stuff to you, Niles, we can send
Yeah.
it out, but it's, the numbers are real, you know, and I just want to make sure the kids are safe in town, and everybody that uses them. There's not just kids, there's some adults that I see around. My biggest thing is just follow the rules of the road. We have enough bad drivers that run stop signs and cruise through them. I'm sure Jerry knows, I mean, Westerly and Hughes is like I could be standing at that stop sign and people see me plenty stopped and they just cruise right through. But, you know, e-bikes and mini bikes and everybody else come through there. The only thing I also like to ask is have kids stay off of our parks and baseball fields, including our high school. I have to run them away at the high school usually every Saturday. They determine they want to drive on the track and on the stadium field, and, you know, sometimes they're pretty rude, but I'm a nice guy, so I'm nice back to them. But, you know, have fun, be safe, just follow the rules and regulations, and, you know, wear your helmets. But again, respect others. I see them plenty on Fisher Avenue. They take the right of way of cars turning into different businesses, different neighborhoods, especially at dark. You know, it's tough. You know, some of the rural areas that we live in, the back roads where there is no lights, you know, sometimes joggers are down the middle of the street. But as you mentioned, Sergeant, that the bikes don't have lights, headlights, or taillights. And there's been a couple times that I've had to swerve just to get them out. But again, just be safe. Like I said, I have a lot of data here I'll share with the commissioners, but it's real data. So, and that's all I wanted to share.
Appreciate the work on it, Alan, and also too with Commander Satinsky, and of course with
Our traffic detail and
traffic detail, Paul as well. So thank you everybody for contributing to it. And again, we'll be talking about this a little bit later on in the meeting as well.
Yep.
So
Can I just ask a quick question?
sure, of course, yeah.
Is there anything planned in conjunction with the schools, maybe like back to school night or Poolesville Day, of like bike safety? So that,
There's been talk.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully we'll get to a point where we can set something up and set some time aside to go into the schools.
okay,
And, you know, that's one aspect of it. That's one avenue, is going and talking to the kids. I think what's equally important is the parents need to know. I mean, the parents need to know, and you know, there are fines for the parent or guardian for allowing the child to you know, ride illegally. But that's the last thing the parent should be concerned about, is a fine for that.
Right.
They should be concerned about their child becoming injured or hurt or whatever. So,
yeah.
yeah, I think the message really needs to get out to the parents.
Well, luckily we have our reporter here for the Monocacy Monocle, so hopefully this should be headline news. And we'll have lots of parents coming to town hall looking for safety information.
We'll send it out too, so.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anything else, Ed?
When you say you'll send something out, what are you thinking of sending out?
Sending out an email with the presentation, with sort of any other bullet points or information that we can get from the police or from other sources, you know, government.
I'm thinking that we'll do a post on the town page. I'll gather Alan's info stats, and then this presentation, do a summary and get it out like tomorrow.
Because I know when I don't go on Facebook that often, but when I do go on, and I see the folks who talk about the near misses of
Yeah.
a kid, and I know maybe about 2 weeks ago I had a near miss of a kid. There were 3 kids. The third, they cut out in front of me. I'm over there, not coming down Fisher, you know, where the elementary school is. They're pulling out. And the third one, we were probably like from where I am to where Alan is, and he almost.
Ooh.
And I had to, you know, practice being a good commissioner and not act. But nevertheless, the reality, it's nighttime, it's dark, you really can't see.
And it's scary for the person driving.
Well, scary is one word. I was more pissed than I was scary.
right.
But the thing, I was afraid for the kid because I'm thinking the kid's not exercising good judgment.
Right.
So that is something to really push out. And I think
Absolutely.
maybe what we got to look at also, I did look at I'm glad you talked about the dirt bike piece, because I noticed I saw kids over off of Tom Fox where the baseball field is on a dirt bike. You know, and I'm thinking, okay, you about to mess up the whole field, you know, ripping and running on the dirt bikes.
Did you call Alan?
No, I figured Alan might catch him on his walk.
I might.
I did not
yes.
call Alan.
That's too early in the morning to catch them on.
No, this was in the evening, though.
What should residents do if they see something and have a concern?
I mean,
Sure, it's
Yeah, if you see something
311.
that's a safety risk, you should call the police. Now, keep in mind, the police are not gonna pursue, the kids on bike, that's just creating a bigger problem.
Right.
So, if you see it, it's a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and you identify it as a safety risk, and you know where the kid lives,
Mm-hmm.
with the parents, make sure if you call, you tell the officer that.
Mm-hmm.
And that way the officer can go knock on the door and educate his parents.
Mm-hmm.
This is what your kid's doing, it's very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And go from there.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we did have Officer Brown pulled over, not pulled over because they were on the street. It wasn't much to pull them over, but three guys that were not doing what they were supposed to be doing, and they were astounded to find out that they had to walk all their bikes home under their parents' supervision. And it was I haven't seen those three guys on the road since then. So I'm hoping there's a lesson learned in there somewhere. I mean, one's a straight up dirt bike with no tags, and he was wearing a helmet, but that's about the best you could say about it. Jerry, go ahead. You want to have something? Yeah.
Two things. One, I was talking with a neighbor of mine, and he said he and his wife were driving down Fisher, and these guys boxed him in. They got in front, and it was like, trying to play with chicken on the side with him. So, I mean, there's that, but I was wondering, is there anything you could do with the marquee where you could put something on there? Ride a bike, have a helmet or something, some sort of.
Yeah.
Safety messages.
we can figure something out.
Yeah.
You gentlemen and lady up there all have, good commanded English language. I'm sure you could come up with some real.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we will. Yeah, something catchy. Right. Got you.
Also, You mentioned a flock camera. If you
God.
put a camera on a couple of the street signs, and as these kids go by, you take pictures of them. And and after a while, it might be the same kids, so you have a history of who they are, or, where they're riding.
I think we're in pretty good shape in terms of identification. I don't know about you guys, but there's that crew, like the guys that we've seen pretty regularly. I just saw them at CVS right before we got here, but I went into CVS and they all were helmeted. Nobody looked under 14. I mean, it looked like they were doing it all the right way or close to it. So,
I have seen them where they actually obey the rules of the road.
yeah.
They're not all,
Yeah, no, I think the guys, I think we've made some good steps. They're paying attention to it. We've got more to do. So, I like it. All right, very good. Anything else? All right, very good. So, this is the time of the meeting when we have the commissioner announcements or reports. Niles, you'll be ready to do the planning commission?
Oh, yeah.
All right, very good. Alan, do you want to get started on the parks?
Parks, we did not meet last month. We will be meeting, I think, September 9th to go through, but just a couple notes. Obviously, Coalhouse is done for the most part, I believe. Speed bumps are in. West
Yep.
Willard is
It's mostly done.
nicest it's been.
They have to touch up a little bit on the striping, but we'll get that
Yep.
squared away probably by the end of the week.
Obviously, all the parks are in full maintenance mode. We've had an incredible amount of perfect weather growing season, I think, this summer. The first time in a long while that I remember that my grass actually had been cut every week. So, Preston and the staff are definitely maintaining that. Mural on the stage. I don't know if everybody's gotten a chance to get up and actually take a look at it, but it's pretty impressive. A lot of great help and great volunteers that it's pretty intricate, a lot of detail, but I think it's a great piece of art for our little town, and I admire our Eagle Scouts to take on that project. And I don't know if we've had a meeting since, but we had the farmers' dedication plaque ceremony that went over really well. Again,
Had a meeting since then.
yeah. So, but other than that, that's what I have. It's a nice quick one tonight. There you go.
I've never challenged your brevity. sir.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, whichever one wants to
Right down the
I'll
line.
go, and then, as always, I invite Ed to
clean up.
clean up. You're the sweeper. The last few weeks, we've really been focusing on getting ready for Poolesville Day and the Poolesville Day breakfast. We've gotten RSVPs from at least 50 guests. We do not have the governor and lieutenant governor coming this year. They are both out of town, but we have many other fantastic guests who are coming. I don't think, Link, we haven't actually shared the run of show yet with the other commissioners. We will be sending that out soon, though. We've just been finalizing some of the language in the sort of framing. But the focus is looking at our priorities for the county, for county funding, and also sort of the economic survival of the ag reserve, or the defense for the continued ag reserve. So we're still working on like the language and how to frame that. So you'll see that soon. And then we're also preparing to send out our August letter on the budget, which I think we should have ready by next week. And working on getting a couple of WUMCO tours with our new county executive, Will Jawando, and Judd Ashman and Julie Yang. So just continuing to nurture those relationships.
Great.
with the county.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Ed.
All right, as I said last month, the Sustainable Poolesville Committee is on a summer hiatus, and so we'll come back on in September.
Sounds good.
Happy summer. Anything else for fair access?
Sarah covered it. Just the only thing I would say is we're fine tuning what we're going to do with our panel discussions, and so once we fine tune that, then we'll share that with the commissioners as well.
Awesome. I'll keep mine short too. As you guys know, and everybody knows, we had a momentous moment with White's Ferry being announced by the county executive that the county has reached an agreement to buy the Maryland landing from Chuck Kuhn, and as well as we are receiving as a donation all the equipment and all the machinery related to White's Ferry. We're going to be having a call. I'll let everybody know about it. That will involve our state delegates and other people that are there to take the next level of negotiations, or at least understand what those negotiations mean. Now that the ferry is going to be a public entity, as long with the land that's associated with it, and what discussions are taking place with both Virginia in terms of their elected officials as well as the private landowner. So we haven't had that phone call yet, but when we do, I'll be reporting to everybody, and everybody, I think, will be welcome to join that too. So I'll circulate that. But regardless, everybody knows, and if you see me quoted on this many times, this is now a public-private negotiation, potentially a public-public negotiation. My hat is off to our county as well as our state for having the property appraised, and having it appraised for quite a bit more than what they paid for it. I think it's a true asset to the county, whether or not the ferry gets running or not, but of course the goal is to have the ferry running again. So Godspeed on those negotiations. We'll all be informed, and we'll make sure we keep the public informed. As of now, the town of Poolesville, besides our advocacy efforts, we have not spent a penny on this yet, and we're not on the hook to be involved in anything to do with the payment as it stands right now. So again, thanks to all the commissioners, Fair Access Committee, Link, everybody for their long-term advocacy. Who would have thought 5 years later we'd finally at least own the ferry and the landing? But then, it takes two to tango, as we all know. But this puts us in a much stronger position for it. Poolesville Day breakfast, Sarah alluded to it, but we've got quite a crew coming to it. I know the program's all coming together. Looking forward to, a day that's such a big day for all the people that come to Poolesville, period. All of our elected officials, they learn everything about it. I love the refocus that we're working on in terms of our advocacy. Not just bricks and mortars, but not putting down bricks and mortars. Well, this is, we're advocating for a lot of stuff as usual. Stay in the budget, get in the budget, be recognized for the work that we're doing. It's good stuff. That's coming at Poolesville Day breakfast. Of course, all of our Montgomery County police friends are welcome to attend and have a great breakfast with us. We'd love to have you guys. Speaking of police, Will Milam is going to be meeting with Link, myself, Chuck Copeland on Wednesday just for kind of a briefing update roundtable on mentoring. You guys are welcome to attend. We'll circulate it, but it's just kind of an impromptu get together. I believe it's 10 o'clock at Locals. Yeah, Wednesday. So we'll be doing that and listen to what Poolesville resident Will Milam has to say about where he's headed towards in terms of his official duties as well as his mentoring. And then last but not least, again, Link and to the Fair Access Committee, great job on the farmers presentation. Alan, thanks for being there and taking my place for it. I don't know if you guys made it there or not, but it was, you saw by the pictures, what a great presentation. So now, just to make sure that everybody knows, this is now, we have a placard in place where we've formally noted our alliance and our allegiance to the farming community. We have a plaque that's permanently in place that notes the murder of George Peck and how Poolesville feels about that. And we also have a plaque firmly in place now that designates and recognizes the Booker T. Washington School out by the beauty spot. All of these are initiatives that we've taken on over the last, we've known about them longer, but we've participated in taking on these initiatives in order to cement our place of recognition of how the town wants to be known and how we operate. So they're all fantastic. You know, I know the people that are making these metal signs love us and probably want to know what our next one is, but you guys can figure that one out. But the farmer's presentation was a great one, and I know we're working on some other things too that will also enhance that plaque and that recognition. But in conversation with Link and several of the farmers that came to it, man, they really do appreciate the fact that we have lined up alongside them and we've done it officially. Sometimes all the organizations and groups that are surrounding our area, farmers, elected officials, anti-development, pro-development, environmentalists, it's important to make sure that especially the farmers know that they are such an important part of our community and that they bring the food. The Ag Reserve was founded on it, and the town of Poolesville sitting in the Ag Reserve where we want to be their best partners. So having it officially designated out there, having the presentation that we did, that was amazing. And again, Link and everybody else for all the hard work. I thought that was a fantastic presentation. Just wish I could have been there, but vacation calls. So that is all I have for my committee report. Public comment time. I see there's people in the audience. This is your chance if you want to come up and say something, or if you wanted to wait and you had something that was on a subject that we're getting ready to talk about. If you're just here to observe, that's fine too.
I will.
Is there anybody else signed up there, Niles? No.
Yep, there is a list here. That's what I was getting.
Oh, wow, that's nice of everybody to sign up. You don't necessarily have to do that. Appreciate it. It's great. All right, Jerome, you were the first one to sign up again, so you could. Oh, you did?
I have it. It's just a more of a correction than anything else.
Okay.
30 miles an hour in one thing, and another place you say the vehicles can only go, the golf carts can only go 20. So I was
Yep.
wondering, maybe Preston's gonna soup them up, you know?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it past our guys.
That's all.
But no, we'll make sure that that's consistent. So
Okay, very good. Thank you. That's all we have for now, and that's going to be something that we will.
we'll look at when we talk about it.
Understood. Thank you for that. Okay. Kenneth Yeager, my friend Kenneth, you are here today. Do you want to come up and say hi, Kenneth? Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Coming in, come up to the podium so that we can hear you. And then give us your address too.
With microphone.
Yeah.
And I'll start him off. Kenneth's one of my all-time favorite guys in Poolesville. He always checks in and wants to know what's going on with the town.
Yeah.
Sold him his house how many years ago now?
I think six plus years now.
6+ years. Watch his
Yeah.
kids, his boys have grown up here.
Yeah. So,
They're great residents and great members of the Poolesville High School community too.
yeah, and this is my first time, so I just joined in to observe and see how best what committee to join and see if I can get my support and help any way that I can.
Yeah, I
So
appreciate
will-
that. And
I'll
you,
be joining, observing first and see, right, how things go, then I will decide what to do next.
awesome. Words of advice from the commissioners. Go ahead.
This is a great place to begin. Start coming to the meetings and listen to what's going on
Yeah.
and learn a little bit more about what the different committees do.
Thank you.
See what's going to be the best fit for you.
Yes, yes, man, thank you. Nice meeting you.
I would say, in addition to what Sarah said, maybe go back and watch some of the different videos of YouTubes, and you can see some of the different committees, things that they talk about. You can look at some of the past town commissioner meetings, and that's a good way just to kind of get up to speed about different things that are happening.
Thank you.
I was going to say the same thing. We record all of our meetings. Educate yourself. It's pretty fluid, but again, we have a great group of a lot of different committee members between planning, zoning, parks, Parks Board. The one thing I'm really proud of the Parks Board since I'm the liaison is we actually have gotten a couple of the high school students that are now liaisons, which is good. It's good for their civic duties and understanding how the process works. There's a lot of process that goes behind the scenes and behind this desk that doesn't always get really relayed to the public, but just review, educate, and ask questions. That's the biggest thing.
Yes,
Good.
good, thank you.
Yeah, this is the only one you need to be elected for, but the rest you can be appointed to. And if you pay attention to those, then that's usually a good foothold to really see how the town works from an inside perspective.
Okay.
But we know you've always been civically involved, Kenneth, and you've also always asked the right questions. So you're a prime candidate to get behind this desk in some form or another. And just the advice the commissioners gave you is great.
Thank you so much, and nice meeting every one of you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thanks for
you.
coming. Tell your
Yeah.
family I said hi too.
Okay.
All right, very good. Next up, Tom Kettler.
Yeah, Tom Kettler, 17917 Elgin Road. Just coming up here with some chamber stuff. Couple things. One thing, I don't know that just to, I don't know if you guys mentioned, but Friday is the ribbon cutting at the high school. Did anybody talk about that? You might want to.
No.
Yeah, Friday at the high school, they're having the official ribbon cutting. I believe it's at
On that, yeah.
12:30. 12:30, yeah, Link. Yeah, so that'll be a big afternoon. I actually was fortunate to go on a tour of the high school a couple of weeks ago with the principal. He took me around, which is great because I hadn't been through the school myself. So he was gracious enough to give me a quick tour. So anyway, just plug that. A couple dates coming up. We have in October 25th, just to mark your calendar kind of thing, we're going to do we're planning to do, and we're confirming this with the board tomorrow night, but that the chamber does the commissioner forum every 2 years. Commissioner candidates forum, and it'll be Sunday, October the 25th, here from 7 to 9. So anyone who's interested in running should put that on your calendar. Going way out ahead, February the 4th, and I'm going to confirm this tomorrow night, is we're shooting to do our annual 2027 annual dinner for the chamber. So again, stuff comes around like that. So I just figured I'd let you all know about that. Mark your calendars. That's the first Thursday in February. We got to confirm that. We'll probably do the cross signs again, but still working on that. And last thing, and I actually like to get your input on this. The chamber does this every 2 years, and we didn't do it last year because we just finished the map, as you all know about. We're getting ready to think about redoing this. Every time we get ready to redo this, we have discussion as to whether or not it's worth doing. And I sort of wanted to get your commissioners' input on the one item, one suggestion that came up on the directory, and it's something the chamber's been doing a long time, is leaving out the residential listings and just putting business listings in there. The problem with the residential listings is they just get very dated, and we have really no good way to make it up. And, we've had discussions back and forth. And also it would take, maybe 20 pages out of the book. So I mean, I'm sure there'll be pros and cons to that, but I'd really like to just get input from you all as to that, because I am meeting with the board tomorrow night, and I'm sure they'd like to hear what you all have to say about it too. I don't know, just if you have any impromptu comments about whether, there's a school of thought that this is like a, from the past, and it's, old people like me like it. Basically people over 40 love it. People under 40 going, why are you still doing this? So each time we do this, and this has been a debate now, probably the last 2 or 3 times we've done it, as to whether it's worth doing it. So again, it kind of is a break even. You all were gracious enough a couple of years ago to help us with some of the mailing, because we do mail it out, bulk mail to everybody in the Western County. So there's about 6,000 copies, I think, went out altogether. But at any rate, I didn't know if anybody had any comments on that one way or the other, but I'd like to share that with the board tomorrow night. So I figured it'd just take a second to jump up and see if you all have any comments about it.
You guys?
I mean, I don't think I could say whether it's worth doing it or not unless there was some research done.
Right.
I don't know how many people use it. I know when we very first moved here, we really appreciated being able to look up neighbors' numbers in there because we didn't know anyone.
Right.
And I don't think that there's an online replacement for that because there's a lot of privacy issues with having numbers.
Right. Yeah, and frankly,
sense.
the address list is very old in here. It's from and we try to update it. We tell people to send us the information, but as you know, there's a lot of people who are not in here. And we try desperately to update it every 2 years, but it's impossible because it's changing all the time, to keep the residential part,
So you're saying, you're suggesting a thinner, say,
Yeah, right now it's 72 pages. If we take out the residential listing altogether, and I've looked at other towns and what they're doing, take out the residential listing, we probably go down to 52 pages or something. So that would save a significant chunk of change. So that might be, but then at that point, is it worth doing? It's
Right.
it
Businesses
has,
are even easier to find online.
what's that?
I said businesses are even easier to find.
Right.
it's more like it would become more of an advertising vehicle.
Right.
You could put other information in there that
Right,
would be.
right. I mean, the town
project.
maps in here, and there's stuff like that that's, this kind of thing that's in there, but.
I've used that map many times.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I'm the wrong person to ask, because,
Yeah.
obviously, I've been doing it for 20 years.
I know, wait a minute, I'm in the, barely in the over 40 club. So
Yeah, barely, just broke into the
Yeah,
over
I
40
probably
club.
I just landed there, so, yeah. So I probably still look at it.
Yeah,
Right, got it.
Oh, you got to think about people's habits, and even with phone numbers, I know a lot of people who are getting rid of their landlines.
yeah, absolutely,
Cell
yeah,
phones.
right,
And then the younger generation, they don't really talk on the phone; they just text,
right.
right? And then but I think about as I was listening to you, I was thinking, where's my copy? My copy, in all honesty, is in the closet with a stack of other things.
Other ones, right, sure,
Right?
sure.
And I
right.
think if I want something, I need to know where something is. I just go on my phone real quick and look it up.
Right,
'Cause
right.
Most likely, I'm going to.
Yeah, you're going to Google it, right.
So I just go in.
No, I appreciate all that, yeah. So it is, so it may be time to say bye-bye to it.
Either that or make a digital copy.
What's
you know. So get it into a digital form where people can visit your websites and then they can actually peruse
Yeah.
and,
PDF.
yeah.
I mean, the one thing we did a couple of years ago with the map, and we are working on, we haven't quite finished up the outdoor maps that you all gave us a grant for, to supplement the paper maps that we just printed. But on that map is in a PDF form, and we did put it online, and Niles and Wade have it tied to the town's website. So that's been a nice thing. That's the work is there. It's just a matter of creating it in PDF and putting it on. So, okay, well that's all. I appreciate the time. But I just wanted to sort of get the.
Do you
sense
get a
the
lot of
room,
people
so.
asking you, where's the new copy?
We get that.
That's a good question.
We get some of that. Yeah. No, I've gotten that already. Like, where's the new copy?
So I would look at like how many of those.
But-
Is it less than 100? Is it?
Yeah, it's less than
100.
100. Yeah, it's random conversations with people. Yeah.
I mean, one thought is that you have them for sale for a a nominal price at
A pre-order?
like the pools, either pre-order or like at Poolesville Day, or maybe they could have some here at Town Hall that people could
Yeah.
purchase. I don't
Well,
know.
they probably could cut down if they cut down the size.
Right.
Then you go to a regular stapled spine versus a perfect bound. Maybe that's cheaper.
Oh, yeah,
And
right.
you
I've
get to
seen
the
other
point where it
towns.
could be almost
Brunswick does it very-
self-sustaining by itself. And serve as an advertising vehicle, it is the chamber. And,
Right, and those are all good points, yeah, and there's obviously, you're right, this is a fairly high quality, and we've always done it this way, but I know
Yeah.
you come from that world, and there's a million ways to do this.
Yeah, and just make it less expensive, I get
Right.
that. And I just sent you a copy of what I suggested should be the cover art.
Got it already,
Be
huh?
ready.
Okay.
I said to Niles, can you put it up on the screen? No way.
I'd have to.
No, don't mess with it. I'll circulate it.
All right, thanks for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, thanks, Tyler. That's nice. You guys, that's good food for thought right there. Let's hopefully give the chamber some guidance and look at that and see if we can figure out what that means moving forward for the chamber, because that's a pretty big deal. I mean, how many copies of the comprehensive plan have we actually printed and distributed to people?
Well, the last time I think it was a grand total of 6 printed
Yeah.
copies.
Yeah,
'Cause
7.
did it 7.
Printed my own, though.
Yeah,
okay.
printed his own.
yeah.
But yeah, we did the planning commission each got a physical copy, and then a couple of people here requested them.
People in the room, people that are in this room right now with a white hat on.
Yes,
Okay, got it. All right, that's good.
But it is accessible as a PDF.
it is accessible. Yeah.
Barely over the age of 40.
All right, what's next, Jim?
Okay. Ed's giving me the move on. All right. Let's go to any other public comment from anybody else. How about the back? You guys, anything? Nothing, just here to observe?
I wanted to hear the conversation of ADUs.
Okay,
So that's why I'm here.
got it.
All right, well,
Okay,
welcome.
that's fair. How about you? Anything?
Oh, welcome.
Oh, congrats.
Welcome.
What's your name? Where do you live? That's what I thought. Man, you weren't my customer, but I'm glad you did.
Oh, man.
Sometimes I never meet them. No, I remember meeting you. Yeah. So these guys are great. Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Delight.
No, Woods of Tama. Woods of Tama.
Oh.
Came at 2, unfortunately.
Anyway, anything about the house, we could talk about it afterwards. But welcome aboard, and we're really glad you're here, and we hope it's all, turned out the way you guys want it to be, and thank you for coming.
But I will say that as someone who just moved here, if you handed me that paper copy, I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
There you go. Your first contribution.
I am,
Can we give you one? Throw it away on the way out?
and we would, if it's not online, it doesn't exist.
Good. Well, send me a note, and we'll send you the comprehensive plan, too. So you can bone up on that a little bit.
But
Same
it
thing
is
with-
it is online.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I'll just send the link. I'll send the link. And same thing for you too, Kenneth. Okay, very good. And I'm sorry we didn't probably get deep enough into the ADUs tonight, but again, we have a public hearing scheduled for it, and the town staff can send you everything that we have.
If
That's
you have specific questions, just you can come to town hall or email townhall@poolesvillemd.gov, and it'll get to me, and I can answer your questions.
good. All right, very good. Thanks everybody for that. Was good stuff. All right, approval of the minutes for July 20th, 2026. We had a meeting then. All of us were there for it. Someone wants to make a motion.
Motion.
Who was not there?
I was not there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks, Sharon. That's right. It was a 4-0 abstention. Go ahead. So, yes, we have a motion from Ed for approval of the minutes
Yep.
for July 20th, 2026. That leaves it to you, Alan.
Yes. Sorry.
You have a second.
I do second. I thought.
Sorry, I could have.
Oh, she's second.
I should have.
I'm sorry.
Should have queued you up a little bit better. Okay, so we have a motion by Ed for the approval of the minutes for July 20, 2026. We have a second by Alan. Any questions, amendments, changes, questions, et cetera? Sarah, nothing from you, even, and you can still comment if you want to.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, very good. All of us were, again, all of us that were at the meeting, all in favor of approval of minutes for July 20th, 2026, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? And
Abstain?
I don't, you
Don't
don't.
I have to
you don't-
abstain because I wasn't there? I can't approve the minutes if I
But
was
you're here.
No,
so
you,
abstain.
Can I,
Yeah.
can I approve?
You abstain.
with one abstention.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
abstain.
Okay.
were you not here on video?
Not on the 20th.
Okay, gotcha.
Here in spirit.
Right. The minutes have been approved 4-0 with one abstain. Thank you for that. News business. Ordinance number 236, use of golf carts or municipal roadways, introduction. I'll give a quick one. We've had some commentary about what direction we're going to go in terms of law enforcement, and we have heard from several people. Alan and I have been talking to the commander, our various officers, that it's a bit confusing about, like, where's our legal status for our equipment that patrol that's on the streets of Poolesville. So the idea of creating an ordinance that addresses the town of Poolesville's position and our use of motorized, I guess, vehicles of all types, but golf carts in particular, is what we've created an ordinance for through Kevin Best, our attorney. Niles, you want to run with it, or Wade?
Yeah, sure. So basically what the ordinance does is basically create a carve out for our vehicles. So as we sort of talked about before, most golf carts are not allowed on roads unless they are these specific low speed vehicles. But what we specifically discussed is that we have a golf cart and another vehicle that we use to transport our guys and our equipment and things like that to the parks, to everything that we're doing. This law allows us as the town to have those on the road. And then as part of this discussion, we also talked about making sure, like the golf cart we have is easily decaled and things like that, so that it's a town vehicle, so the police know it's a town vehicle. And then all of the requirements in terms of like headlights and things like that that are referred to in the ordinance, our vehicles already comply with. And then just, even though Jerry stepped away, just to clarify, he had a question about two different, where we have 30 miles an hour and 20 miles an hour. The 30 miles an hour is the maximum posted speed limit of the road that the golf carts are allowed on. Now, all municipal town roads have a maximum speed limit of 25 miles an hour. So that 30 is just there because that's what the state law basically says. And then where it talks about 20 miles an hour in the ordinance, that's related to how fast the golf cart can go. So that's why there's a difference in number. One is what roads they can be on. The other is the maximum amount of speed on that the vehicle itself can obtain. Is there anything else?
So, given what we've learned tonight about low-speed vehicles, is this separate ordinance needed, or can we just register the town golf carts as low-speed vehicles?
So I think for that part about it being low speed, that we'd have to look at what the requirements are. This was simply the most straightforward way of addressing the issues as now, for right now, versus having us, if it didn't meet those criteria, whether we'd need to get a new vehicle or make changes. This allows us to proceed as is versus.
And there's no, we would not be able to make our golf carts compliant in the end with we're making it so that our golf carts have this carve out, because the things that are going to require, unless I'm wrong, to be licensed, we don't have those type of carts.
And it's not just golf carts, it's UTV vehicles. We have, a Gator or something like that, that's a little bit different than a golf cart per se.
Yeah.
So we have a trailer that's attached to one, all these little nuances and details and specifics to our town vehicles per se is really what this ordinance is about.
Got it. That's helpful to understand.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a carve out, just like you said. I don't have any other questions for it. I mean, we've all had a chance to review it. You're going to review what Jerry's.
Yes, I just addressed Jerry's comment. That was his question.
Yep.
About the speeds. It's not an inconsistency. It's just referring
Thank
to
you.
two different things. And
Understood.
So we can look at if the language needs to be tweaked at all to make that clearer. But that was the source of his confusion.
I don't see it being an issue, but at the same time, we can put it in front of our attorney and just give it a double check.
Yep.
Okay, very good. Wade, do you have any commentary on it before we set the public?
No, I'm just going to say that when Kevin put this together, it seemed like the best vehicle to follow the state law and carve the exemption out, just like Niles had said. So it's the safest and easiest way for us to go about this.
And compliance. It's all about compliance. So
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, good. Pulling the calendar up right now. So we are talking about that our meeting on September 21st would be the date that we would set this public hearing for?
Yes, that was
we agreed
from
to?
our conversation earlier,
Right.
and the conversation of the commissioners before, of not having the first meeting in September. So it would be the second meeting in September, which would be September 21st.
Yeah, we're working a little bit backwards only because we're anticipating that we will have one meeting in September. That's when this public hearing would be held, when I'll mention that in a minute. We have two meetings scheduled for October, and they're potentially, depending on how our interview process works, we may be meeting again and again. So we're trying to anticipate that we may end up having 4 or 5 meetings in that time span before the election, and potentially even after the election. So that's why we're not having a meeting in the beginning of September, and we're setting this public hearing, we will in a second, for the 21st. So is there any other questions on this ordinance for right now?
Nope.
Great, then we will need to set a public hearing for September 21st for ordinance number 236, use of golf carts on municipal roadways. Can someone please make a motion for that?
I motion that we set a date for a public hearing for ordinance 236, use of golf carts on municipal roadways,
On what date?
on Monday, September 21st.
Great. Motion been made by Sarah. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Alan. Any other questions? Nothing else to talk about right now on it. We have plenty of time to hit this again. All right, very good. So a motion been made for setting public hearing for September 21st, ordinance number 236, use of golf carts on municipal roadways. Been seconded by Alan. All those in favor of setting the public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Opposed, it's been approved 4-0 with Brian absent. Thank you for that and for the background on that, guys. FY 2026 budget closeout. I'm sure town staff is going to start
Yep.
somehow, some way.
Yes, I will get this all lined up. And then I'm going to this here.
And I'll just say real quick, we had a very good year with the budget. We did have a few bumps that now I was going to talk about here, but we have a lot of projects that we have being developed right now, and some are underway and not accounted for yet, like the roadway paving. The payments on those things haven't happened until the new fiscal year, which just started in July. So this is a snapshot, basically, of June 30th and the previous part of the year. So, all yours, Miles.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So for FY26, the budget closeout. So this is a brief overview. So the general fund, which includes the general operations, all capital projects for both the water and sewer and the general fund, debt service, and any grants to the water and sewer fund. So that total ended up being just over $6 million. The water and wastewater fund, which funds the operations only, so not the capital projects, operated just over $2 million and required a $256,000 grant from the general fund to cover some of its operations. And we'll get into that a little bit later. FY26 budget closeout was a positive balance of $267,396. So as Wade was saying, it's a positive year overall, and that's a good overview of that. All right, this is our revenue. So as has traditionally been the case, property tax has been sort of one of our big sources of revenue over the years. But because of how well positioned the town is, income tax has grown, and now it's the largest revenue source, so 37% to 36%. And then along that is sort of the revenue sharing with the county, so that's the tax duplication payment, the highway user fees, obviously from the state, that pay for things like the paving, and then also we had a pretty good year on interest income, and so on. So that's just a little snapshot of the general fund revenue. This is in numbers. So our projected revenue was $5,646,864. The actual revenue was $6,142,197. So the variance was just under 500,000. And then the key increases on the revenue side was the interest income, the income tax, and those highway user funds. So we had positive returns. And in all of those categories. And then, but for the general fund on the expense side, again, we projected around 4,021,871, and we ended up actually spending, 4,087,587. So a variance of a little bit higher than what we had originally budgeted. Some of that goes to the grant from the Water and Sewer Fund. But many of our accounts were actually under budget on a lot of the things that we ended up doing. So on the operational side, that was pretty straightforward. And on some of the capital projects too, we had some good outcomes there. So on the wastewater side, again, our projected revenues were up a little bit. So we had projected 2,196,737. We ended up 2,198,556. So just a little bit above. Interest income, again, we got a good return. And then the user fees was up about 95,000. It wasn't as much as we could have been. The new fees came in. We also had the water conservation request this year, the voluntary water restrictions. So it could have been higher in other circumstances, but it was still positive. So that's a good note there. All right, and then the operational expenses. So again, slightly higher on the operational side. So we projected 2,173,100, and the actual was 2,454,931, a variance of 281,831. So again, the expenses were up a little bit, mainly the sludge hauling, as you can tell, of 163,019. We in the plant, we actually ended up having a discussion about potentially some chemical changes to sort of directly address sludge hauling, and also looking at some other ways of addressing settling and things like that with the sludge. So we're trying to make some changes to directly address that number going forward. So we'll look at that more. Lab services, obviously, every year there's increase in these type of services because of the cost of chemicals and all of these things that continue to rise. And then we had a variance up of salaries. A lot of that had to do with overtime when we had some issues with the plant flows, especially when we had that variance in temperature. So it would go in the late winter to early spring. So we had times where it would go very warm and then very cold and very warm. That was part of the issue with the sludge hauling. That also affects our operational ability. So that puts us into high flows in certain circumstances. So that's sort of the explanation for all of that there. All right. Then the capital projects.
Question
Go ahead.
Klaus. Why was the delta difference, why was there a difference in the three variables to the total variance? I know
Because other categories were down.
Okay.
So in other
These are
budget
just
categories, we made
example
less. Yeah, these were the highest ones that made a difference. Whereas there are other ones, and I can pull up ones if you want to know. But
I wanted more to explain for the public than
yeah, of course.
anything else.
But yeah, things that we were under in a lot of categories too, and so that sort of balances out to get that overall variances. These were just the biggest categories in which.
And those details are on the operational pages within the budget document itself.
Yeah, exactly. So you can look at all of this in the budget closeout itself to see where those categories are. So
Was there any standout negative or positive that stood out that was then also negatives that
About saving wise.
took it down?
No, it wasn't. It was like the little pieces from several little accounts.
yeah, so like we had various ones where we were under 5 or 10% or whatever, and so those add up. Especially if it's a good number of.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay, so the general CIP expenditures. So we did So I'm not going to go through all of them, but these are the general ones we did. So some technology upgrades that involved here in this room. Then we obviously we're doing the storage area for the Parks Department. That also is what these sheds, the ones that's behind Town Hall and down near the plant, are out of that account. We did 2 new AEDs in the past year, so one at Elgin and one at Helmos. And so we're continuing to do that, and that's a project that we were the pioneer of, having these AEDs at public parks. That's where Wade and I had to work with the fire department to get that signed up. So that's been a continuing project and so on.
Have we had to fire up any of them ever?
No, we have not had an emergency at any of the parks that required their use. But we check on them monthly and so on and so forth. So, and then obviously some replacement equipment, including new lights. We're sort of working forward that way. Some of the arches that we use with the trains at the holiday lighting need to be replaced and things like that. Oop. Sorry, the computer decided to. There we go. Had one new truck this year. We started doing the Fisher Avenue streetscape, which we submitted last week the full plans of. So that's some of the engineering costs for that. The flashing crosswalks, which we did at the elementary school and the high school this year. And then finishing up the sidewalks on West Willard. And then improving the Tom Fox intersection was this year as well. The GIS is an ongoing system, so we're going to be doing more work in terms of adding the storm drain system in. In fact, that's related to a new state law called Mason's Law that we have to comply with. Doing some more of the work on manholes and things like that. So there's more GIS data that we're compiling to be even more robust. And then the big expenditure was the Wayland Commons wiring. So that has already allowed us to sort of have higher loads and things like that. Not quite have some of the electrical issues that we've had in the past during events. Right. Then this is sort of your basic. We did the Helmos Park basketball court got redone, and then also repaving the pickleball courts at Stevens Park. And we also did that to include reducing the number of courts at Stevens Park, but making them more in line with best practices to be safer, and that also has allowed for future tournaments and things like that to be held there as well. And then the road repaving, which again, most of the cost of the road repaving will be in this fiscal year. I have to go. Not letting me go up the page. Well, you saw it, and we can talk about it more. Okay, so in the wastewater categories for capital expenditures, we have the equipment replacement as always. This is something that we've been, that's sort of our regular replacement. We did the lagoon repairs. This is an ongoing project. They're actually still working on that now. The generator, we did repairs of the generator at the wastewater plant, and we'll be doing new generators at the pump stations, or one of the pump stations on West Willard, or near West Willard. And then electrical upgrades at the plant, and also a break room storage area for the guys down at the plant as well. And then in 3167, this is water and wastewater. So we got water meters, including for the new houses that are coming online, water and sewer equipment. So this is ongoing replacement equipment and such. Technology upgrades, new water meter sensors, things like that. The Hydrant Buddy, which is a piece of equipment that is used to help the process of utilizing the fire hydrants when they have to exercise the fire hydrants and such. And then traffic control equipment to allow us to be sort of safer on site and do all of those things. So, and then just hang on 1 second. There we go. Then we are continuing our I&I work, which is an ongoing process for the wastewater system, and then infrastructure emergency repairs, so when we have water main breaks and things like that. And then some work that we began on the Westerly water line replacement, although that, as Wade mentioned, there are projects that we are waiting to get funding on. And so that's one of them. So Westerly water line, we'll talk about a couple of other ones as well, but these projects are the ones where we're waiting on state funding for. So when we hold some of the funding, we'll talk about that further in a little bit. Okay. Then restricted funds. So we have the PFAS lawsuits. So we have $723,608 in that.
That we've recovered.
That we've recovered from the manufacturers. And the balance of that goes towards the PFAS remediation, stuff like that. So we have a healthy reserve there, and those funds will also be used when we get to the well centralization in wells 2 and 3, when we're doing those things. And then the development recreation fees, so that goes towards park improvements, community events, that's what we go to pay for events. Reforestation fees, so when we plant new trees and things like that, that's the restricted funds that we get from that. And then the connection fees, which we get from the new developments that pay for related to the water and sewer system. So that funds will also go to things like the Westerly water line and things like that when we do improvements in those projects. Right. Then we have the one loan right now, which we've had for the Westerly I&I. We still are on pace to clear that in FY33. There will be an additional loan once we get to the Westerly Waterline project that we'll take on, but because we are still waiting for approval from the state for it, that was not serviced at all this year, but that'll be, again, one of those future projects. All right. Then the cash balance, so we have the unrestricted reserves of $1,622,190. That is that number that encompasses that 17.5%. That is by policy what we're supposed to maintain. It's actually a bit more than that, a good bit more than that. But again, there are projects that we're still holding some of that money for. Then accumulated CIP. So we have $3,401,152. So that's already allocated funds for the CIP projects that are going forward. And then on the wastewater side, we have unrestricted funds of $699, accumulated CIP of $1.5 million, and then the restricted funds, so already allocated things, is $1,337,053. Impact fees, which we get from the Donegan property now, Poolesville Crossing, is $39,662. So total cash on hand of $7,611,418. And then I just want to make sure before we get to this, I just want to check one other thing. All right, I think we're good for that. So the one last thing that we have is a budget amendment. So we're asking to apply $50,000 from those unrestricted reserves to go towards 3150 for the Fisher Avenue replacement pump station project. This is electrical upgrades that we're doing to 2 pump stations. So one is on Elgin and the other is on Fisher. And the Fisher one, the Elgin one came in on budget for our process, but the Fisher Avenue one ended up being a little bit more complicated. Over the years, there's been various different ways of sort of upgrading the electrical systems in there. That means that it's a little bit more complicated to now replace it, which is what we're trying to do. So the costs for that are higher, which means that we have to apply more funds to that account in order to make whole the electrical system in that pump station. With the adopting of the closeout, we're asking that it be amended to apply those funds to that account.
Good job. Questions? Good job, Niles. Yeah, so that I like Niles. I thought you were going to give a little more color on the pump station. We had a conversation about that today. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we have funds set up for not just upgrading, but bringing up to speed instead of just band-aiding or patching
Correct.
a lot of the things that we've done, which we've done to the highest level of professionalism. But at the same time, they have left us vulnerable for potential future changes or even more expensive updates. So this Fisher Avenue replacement pump station is, we're going to be curing one of our ills that we just kind of, I would say, if fully functioning, life is good, no problems, but
it's what happens when things change over time. So a good example of this was when Stony Springs came online, they had to add additional electrical capacity to that system. But so, since it was done at a different time and in different systems, they don't it's not the easiest to communicate with each other when you try to redo the entire system, which is what we are trying to do.
Good job. Yeah, agreed. So, again, this is not, we had some conversations back and forth that we did, straight up front. We had a tax increase this year, and yet we're showing a budget surplus. That's a tough one to answer for at times. But there's a lot of unrecognized and unrealized spending that's potential on our horizon that is very close to our horizon, and we don't want to be in a position where we're going to be dipping into our unrestricted reserves to the point where we're actually going below our threshold. So that's, it may feel like we're flush, if you'll pardon the expression, but the goal is actually to make sure that we have the right amount of reserves with the amount of projects that are still up in the air to some degree, and we're not even 100% sure how we'll get funding for some of them as well. So, and the perfect example 1A is, again, we could continue to Band-Aid some of these repairs, leave them for the next generation. Hopefully technology improves, but at the same time, this 3150 Fisher Avenue replacement pump station project is something that in other days we might have Band-Aided it, but now we're trying to make it so that it's a long-lasting repair.
Yeah.
And bring it up to speed as well. So, all right, very good. So, you guys, we will need, we've got two pieces here that we would need to
They have to be
have a
dealt with
motion
separately.
to be dealt with separately via motion.
All right, well, I motion that we move $50,000 from the unrestricted funds to the 3150 account for the Fisher Avenue replacement pump station project.
Very good. Thank you for the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second from Ed. Any other questions? Anybody on this? Pretty clear cut. Appreciate the explanation. Wade, Niles?
Yep.
None? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? It's been approved 4-0. Thank you, Niles, for the background on that. So we've seen a summary of the FY26 closeout budget as amended and presented. We do appreciate the due diligence of town staff as well as all of town staff, including all of our partners that have made it so that we did have actually a successful budget year. We have a lot going on. In my time, yes, we've had I&I that we seem to deal with every year, but at the same time, now we have PFAS and we've got other things that are on our shoulders. So to have town staff come through, take care of business the way they did, end up with a surplus, it's good to see. And I'm sure we'll put the money to good use. So, and that being said, we need to have somebody make a motion for adopting the FY26 closeout budget as amended and presented.
I'll make a motion.
Alan's made a motion to adopt the FY26.
The FY26 closeout budget as amended and presented.
Motion made by Alan, second.
Second?
Second from Sarah. Any other questions, commissioners?
Yes, sir.
None? All those in favor of adopting the FY26 closeout budget as amended, presented, and motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? We've approved it. Thanks for the hard work again, you guys, on this. Much appreciated.
Hey, Jim, just one.
Yes, sir. Go.
This just for the community members, so those who might be watching, those who are in the audience. While we just see the presentation on the closeout budget, but for those who like to have more detail and understanding of what's behind it, you could go in. The public has access.
Yes, correct.
Then you can go back and look over the detailed report of the FY26 closeout. So that is available online at the town's website, where you could go through line by line. So you'll see we get these reports ahead of time, and we'll go through and we'll review the reports, and we'll go through line by line just to make sure everything makes sense, everything is moving in the right direction. So it's not just looking at a presentation to make a decision, but it's really going in line by line to make it informed. Hey, take care. Welcome to the community.
Thank you.
That's it, Jim.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate that. I'm just making notes here.
Yes, and that was actually attached to the agenda for the public to preview before this meeting also.
Yep, thank you, Wade.
Yep, very good. Okay, good. All right, thanks, guys. Old business, nothing that we see on the agenda, nothing to be brought up by the commissioners?
Nope.
None? Very good. Town manager's report, Niles Wade.
Yep. So we have a couple of things. As Alan mentioned, we finished up the Colhouse Road Elgin and West Willard paving portion, so that is complete. We are, as I said, still doing some of the striping, but that was very good. I want to thank everybody, especially on Colossus Road, for their patience during the whole project, but that went very smooth. I talked as well about the streetscape was submitted fully, and so we're dealing with a couple of comments and things like that already, but we're hoping to get that all wrapped up very quickly and get approved by the state. And then we also are advertising for positions. Obviously, the town manager position is being advertised, as well as the public works parks and streets position, and one at the wastewater treatment plant. So plenty of openings. If you know people, encourage them to apply. And then the other one thing that I wanted to just mention, because with the planning commission met last Wednesday. They had one item which was on the sign code, ordinance to amend the sign code based on some recent court decisions and some other changes, like getting rid of the sign board review board, and then also just tweaking some of the language to make it a little bit easier to understand. So that will come at a future meeting, probably on the September 21st meeting. But I just want to mention that that's what the Planning Commission had done as well. And then I think those are the main things. Is there anything else, Wade, that we want to mention?
I think that is it right now. Yep.
Right. Perfect.
Okay, very good. Question for town staff? No? Any reason why we can't adjourn?
Real quick question, I was going to say,
Go for it.
go ahead, Ed.
One of the things I failed to mention earlier, and I think it should be noted that when we look at our Poolesville grill team and going out to take care of the Montgomery County Secondary School coaches, that luncheon, and so I want to commend Alan's leadership. This is what, the second or third time?
Second year in a row. Yes,
Right.
we're always asked by MCPS to go ahead and feed the 300-plus coaches for all 25 high schools. So it was a collaboration between the Booster Club and the grill team and some volunteers. We crushed it again, but I'm sure we'll be back next year again. But it just, again, it solidifies and it forges our relationship within the people that we need to, and it's a great time. Everybody's very respectful, but again, it's what we do out here. We help others, and I'm glad Ed was able to help me out second year in a row. So our commissioners wear many hats.
I think it's like the grill team's become the food auxiliary for the Fair Access Committee, which acts on behalf of the town of Poolesville. It's amazing.
Does that mean they're doing the Poolesville Day Breakfast?
We were asked,
Oh.
but we passed.
Sorry, I don't want to open a can of worms.
All right, very good. Anything else, guys? No? Motion to adjourn? More?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. Yeah, motion to adjourn. Anybody?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion from Alan.
I'll second his motion.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? We are adjourned.
Jim, did you go, what I just thought about was the plaque.